I'm over here wearing a dress. Why does it matter? Any woman who puts on pants is considered strong because pants are associated with the patriarchy. It's like some sort of superiority complex. So a man puts on a dress and it's disgusting. So what you're saying is men are fabulous, women are disgusting. I'm not doing that anymore. I want to be a walking piece of political art when I show up. You know, just living inside of my truth publicly is a political act. I get that too. So to add the layer of fashion on top of it seemed like a no-brainer. You know, the most disappointing was the backlash from black people. That was worse than all of it. The vitriol, you know, like, I'm the cause of the emasculation of the black man. Well, okay. I didn't know that I had that much power, but now that I know I do, you can expect me to be wielding it every chance I get. You know, the whole fashion thing was something that I knew could be a thing just from having been in the business for so long and watching the women do it. It's generally reserved for women. I loved the Oscars. I loved the Golden Globes. I loved the Met Gala and the Tonys with my uterus dress made out of the Kinky Boots curtain. Know your references, children.
Okay. So, in case you didn't know who that was, who you were listening to, you're looking at them on the screen. And that is none other than Billy Porter. Now, you know, at the beginning of the year, I had to go in on him because of, you know, him wearing that damn tuxedo dress. And if you didn't know, he just recently won an Emmy. And the only shocking thing to me is the fact that, one, that he actually did win. And the fact that he came there without wearing a dress. Those are the only two shocking things. Now, I'm going to have to go in on Billy Porter again because of this clip that you just heard right here. Mainly the part where he started going in on black people. He said the biggest disappointment was basically the pushback from black people. As if we were the only ones that had some shit to say about him wearing that damn tuxedo dress and all his other dramatic and theatrics that he has been doing over the year. Like, you can tell this man campaigned hard to try to get this damn Emmy, all for the sake of some representation. And then he went to the part that struck the nerve, and that was where he said that apparently he is the reason for black boys being emasculated or emasculating black men or whatever it was he just said. And then he said he didn't know he had that much power, but if he does, expect me to continue to wield it and use it every chance that I get. So y'all just basically heard this individual say out of his own mouth that he has no problem going around like he's a goddamn fairy, like he's goddamn Tinkerbell, and every time he spins around, pixie dust would just happen to fall onto a black boy, onto a black man, and bam, he's like him. He's basically saying that. That's basically his lot in life. And now that he has won this Emmy, which they have deemed to be a historical win because he's like, they say he's the first black openly gay man to win an Emmy for best lead actor in a drama series. He is going to take that shit and he's going to run with it throughout the rest of award season. And by that, I mean to the Golden Globes and to the SAG Awards, but that's not until next year. He can't take it to the Oscars because the Oscars is for strictly film. But if he could, he probably would take it and run it there too. And he might run it all the way to the Image Awards, which is like in March. Like I said, it's people like this Billy Porter that can push a lot of propaganda. And this is who they choose to prop up. Now, mind you, I don't give a damn like what his relationship is like, but I'll just throw it in there. Billy Porter is with a white man. If y'all remember when he wore that damn tuxedo dress, he's the one that came in the dress, and his white zaddy was the one that came in a tux. So we know who is the man and who is not in the relationship. It's pretty clear who wears the pants in that relationship, if you get what I mean. But he just pushed out a lot of propaganda in that clip you just heard right there when it came to the black community. And notice that he wasn't specific about who he was targeting when he said black people. He was basically coming for everyone, black men and black women, because he probably saw it coming from both sides. And then he said that something about wearing the pants is representing patriarchy and something like that, with women wearing pants and something to that effect. I'm like, and then he said this was a political move. No, this was an attention whoring move. Billy Porter, you were doing this for attention. This was no goddamn political move. I hate when people try to associate attention whoring with some kind of a political statement. This was not a political statement. It wasn't. This was him being an attention whore. Point blank, period. Everything he does is for attention. You can go back and look through all the images of everything that he's been a part of this year, and you cannot tell me he is not doing this for some kind of attention. Even right there at the end, he said he wore some kind of uterus dress. Who thinks to wear that? Who would think to wear that? This is a guy wearing a dress that he called a uterus dress, and it actually did look like a uterus because I saw the picture. It's like he had a red tux on with a pink shirt, and like the ruffles that came out of the side of the dress or whatever, because it was like a half dress type of thing, was the color of what the inside of a uterus would look like. Like, that was not only tacky, but it was also very disrespectful to the female anatomy. And he says this was a political statement. If you don't get the fuck out of here. And I was actually looking at a post that Professor Black Truth had put up there, and I'm going to read to you what he said. He said, this guy is 50. The white media can't even tell you which show he won an Emmy for, but we're supposed to believe the same Emmys who gave an award to a pack of lies by like Leaving Neverland is giving this goofball an award for acting? Yeah, right. And the thing is, people like Billy Porter don't mind being used because they are trying to push their agenda further and further and further out there. And they're using a black person to do it. And he does not mind. You heard his tone in that clip you just heard. He does not care to be used. He loves being a prop. He loves being the pawn on a chessboard. And you know what's so even crazier? I just did a video about the whole Black Girls Rock thing, and you had that person, Angelica Ross, going complain saying, oh, Black Girls Rock not trying to include trans women, black trans women, whatever. But now that they got this, and I said to myself, watch, if they win this Emmy, they are going to feel validated. And look at what happened. He won. Now they're going to feel they have that validation. They're going to probably look back and say, we won an Emmy. We don't need Black Girls Rock anymore. We got our validation from who we really wanted it from. After all, wasn't it that Angelica Ross said they was in a relationship for a numerous amount of years with a white supremacist and then tried to whiten themselves up, not so much on the outside, but more internally, and try to distance themselves away from black people? Well, now that they've got this damn Emmy, they're going to distance themselves even more, while still trying to come around black circles, mainly ones that have actual biologically born black women in it. So they can have their little victory right here. But like I said, Billy Porter, he is nothing more than a walking minstrel show. Walking, talking, breathing minstrel show that probably wishes he had a menstrual cycle. After all, he's the one that came dressed like a damn uterus. His words, not mine. But I've always seen Billy Porter as a problem. Always. I remember when I was watching one season of American Horror Story, I think it was the last season, and he was on there. And I was like, who is this extra flamboyant guy on here? I'm like, who is this? And then when I saw him show up in that damn tuxedo dress, I said, that's the guy from American Horror Story. See, he wasn't wearing all of that stuff on there. I just knew he was just a very flamboyant individual. And I was like, oh, his character just clearly is gay. But then I had to think about who created American Horror Story, Ryan Murphy, who happens to be a gay man. So expect more of this to come from Billy Porter. As long as they continue to give him accolades, he's going to continue to do stuff like this. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.